Detail, hand salute.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ready, two.
Please remain standing for the invocation by FDNY Chaplain Rabbi Potasnik.
Detail, on color.
To you, the Moon family, I wish I could find words of prayers that would mitigate the pain on this difficult day. But I remember some years ago at a memorial service, the mother of a young man came over to me and she said, I remember what I had and I remember what I lost, and I feel I have still been blessed. I say the same to you. You come here today with the pain of loss, but you also come here with the privilege of love. Death may conquer life, but it doesn't conquer love. Love that is strong and good is with us forever. It is said that at the end of life, the question will not be, how much have you taken, but how much have you given? And not how much have you saved, but how much have you served? And not how much have you won, but how much have you done? Because the real measure of life is determined not by duration, but by donation. We come here to remember someone who donated all for all. We bless him for all that he was. Billy Moon blessed us for all that he did. Amen.
Detail, recover.
Thank you, Rabbi. Will everyone please be seated?
Detail, at ease.
Good morning. My name is Captain Liam Flaherty of Rescue 2, and I want to thank everyone for coming to today's plaque dedication ceremony, honoring our fallen member, Firefighter William Moon II, lost to us on December 20th, 2022. I want to take a moment to introduce the members of the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until the end. First, Fire Commissioner Laura Kavanaugh, Chief of Department John Hodges, Chief Advisor to the Mayor of New York City, Ingrid Lewis Martin, Chief of Training, Thomas Correo, Chief of Special Operations, Malcolm Moore, Deputy Commissioner, Dr. Kwame Cooper, Brooklyn Borough Commander, Dean Coster, Manhattan Borough Commander, Michael Agello, Queens Borough Commander, Joseph Ferrante, Chief of Rescue Operations, Joseph Downey, Assistant Commissioner to Family Assistance, Evelyn Tesorario, UFA President, Andrew Ansbro, UFA Brooklyn Trustee, Doug Carroll, UFOA President, James Brosey, and again, FDNY Chaplain Rabbi Joseph Potasnik. Okay, also today we are especially honored to have the family of Firefighter William Moon here. We have Christina Moon, Brianne Moon, Colin Moon, William Moon Sr., Patricia Moon, Robert Moon, Christina Vanstein, Michael Vanstein, Liam Vanstein, Nancy Rosenberg, Jackie Desir, Cliff Desir, Savannah Desir, Kai Desir. And also in attendance, we have the Gerhard family, and as well as several other family members and close personal friends. Welcome to all. Okay, now I'm honored to introduce our first speaker, Fire Commissioner Laura Cavanaugh.
Thank you, and thank you, Liam. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, especially, of course, to Billy's family. You have always been, such a strong presence over this last year. We're so grateful that through your grief, you keep showing up and sharing Billy's memory with us. So thank you again for being here. And really, thank you to the members of Rescue 2 and Ladder Company 133. Not only have you done everything to make a hard day like today as beautiful as it could be, but also you have been there for this family through thick and thin and in just an incredible way. I've seen firsthand everything you've done for Christina and the kids and the family. So let's actually give them a round of applause. In the year plus since Billy died, I have had the great pleasure of getting to know Christina and spend time with the Moon family. I have learned, as we all now have, about all the difficult conversations that she and Billy had, about what the various scenarios would be that they discussed, and how they were uniquely prepared to make the difficult decision to donate Billy's organs when it became clear he would not survive his fall. That truly makes me understand the depth of Christina's love for Billy and their love for one another, that they could have those difficult conversations, that she was able to honor his wishes in death and carry out his mission of encouraging organ donation even after he's gone. The work she has done is truly remarkable, and we are all inspired by her ability to find a silver lining among the most difficult and tragic of circumstances. Billy's organs saved the lives of 5 people, and today, 2 of them are with us. A miracle, really, to know that pieces of him exist in all of you, and that he continues to save lives even after he has left us. FDNY Lieutenant Terrence Jordan, a retired 9/11 firefighter, received Billy's lungs. FDNY Captain Patrick Reynolds received his liver, and Richard Grell received his heart. All 3 of them, and the 2 who are with us today, are a testament to what's possible when dedication to doing good is so great, when it even surpasses death. Plaque dedications are a tradition here in the FDNY, and we do them to show respect and reverence to those who have died. Today, we unveil a plaque for Billy, but we know we don't need a plaque on the wall to remember to think of him. We need only to think of Terry, of Pat, of Richard, of Christina and the kids, of his family, here and in all the firehouses that he served in, and the lives they continue to live and to lead because of him. He is definitely still with us every day. And we know that continuing to sign up to become organ donors will keep him alive as well. It is also what he would have expected of us. There are really no words to process the grief, the loss, the hole that Billy's death leaves so many with, even a year later. But there is always hope, and there is always comfort in knowing that part of him lives on in his family. In fact, I'd like to thank his family specifically for the beautiful picture that they have painted of him, one so vivid that I feel like I know what he would do if he was here today. I know that it's his parents who made him so selfless, his extended family who gave him the strength to take on a dangerous career. I know that it is the family he married into with Christina and the kids that gave him such a warm heart, such a dedication to family and to life. I know that it's his brothers and sisters in the firehouses that have given him his good sense of humor, and that in each of you, you have done what Billy would have done if it was someone else. And that is the greatest testament to him I can think of. So he truly is here in all of us, encouraging us to become the best versions of ourselves with him as our guide. Today we remember him, but that's the easy part because he is unforgettable. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And now I'd like to bring up Chief of Department, John Hodges.
Good morning. Welcome to this plaque dedication to honor the legacy of Billy Moon. A special welcome to the Moon family, all of the family and friends that are here to honor this great legacy. You are all forever a part of this FDNY family, and we are grateful you are here with us today. I'd also like to thank the many people who made this today possible. We appreciate the efforts of the men and women of Ladder Company 133 and Rescue Company 2. You've made today solemn and special for the entire Moon family. I'd also like to thank all of the members of our department that work in the background to make this happen. Our ceremonial unit, our family assistance unit, audio-visual, and special events units all contribute to making this such a special day. It is hard to believe that more than a year has passed since Billy left us. But I believe this department and his family, especially Christina, have done an incredible job to make sure this city will never forget Billy Moon's sacrifice. Billy was truly committed to serving people and communities, both in the FDNY and in his hometown of Islip. He spent more than 20 years with this department in Ladder 133 and then Rescue 2. Busy companies, responding to fires and emergencies, but most of all, showing up when New Yorkers needed him. He was an excellent and dedicated firefighter, a true asset in the firehouse and to this department. Despite being a veteran firefighter with over 20 years, he was always among the first to step up and help wherever needed. When Billy was injured, a very difficult, but no doubt selfless decision was made to keep his memory and passion for helping others alive through the amazing gift of organ donation. This decision made by Christina and Billy's family was selfless in every sense of the word. For the Moon family to make the choice of organ donation in the face of their own incredible loss is an inspiration to everyone in the FDNY and beyond. Billy had the vision of how important organ donation is, and Captain Reynolds, Lieutenant Jordan, and Richard Grell are all here today. Billy's heart still beats, his lungs still breathe air, and his liver still functions today in the walls of this firehouse. This is truly amazing. This is a somber day, one that helps us to continue to remember Billy as the kind and brave man he was. The devoted father and husband, the passionate public servant, and truly one of New York's bravest. That is how we remember him. Each time we hear his name, we see his plaque, we see his grateful organ recipients, or have important conversations about organ donation. So thank you again for turning out today. God bless the Moon family, God bless the FDNY, and God bless America.
Thank you, Chief. Next, we will hear from Union President Andrew Ansbro to say a few words.
Good morning. It is my honor to present the plaque to Christina, Brianna, and Colin Moon, and the rest of the Moon family on behalf of the uniformed firefighters of New York City, and to memorialize and honor Billy's life, career, and sacrifice. Many times during Billy's career, he put himself in harm's way and made everyone proud, and there is no doubt that he earned the right to be called one of the bravest. But we do not earn the name of the bravest because of the brave deeds that Billy and other firefighters do. It is earned through the ultimate sacrifice that happens far too often that leads us to days like today. Christina and all Billy's family, friends, it is through Billy and through your sacrifice that we are called the bravest, and we will never be able to repay you for it. But we will do everything we can for as long as we can, and you will always be part of our family. We will never forget you. Christina, your courage and your ability to turn tragedy into purpose by making difficult decisions at terrible times and championing organ donation is an inspiration to all of us, and a reminder that sometimes our family members are the bravest of us all. Thank you so much. I'll now read the plaque. Sure. In loving memory of Firefighter William P. Moon, 2nd Rescue Company 2, May 5th, 2002 to December 20th, 2022, an everlasting tribute for the ultimate act of service from the Uniformed Firefighter Association of Greater New York.
Thank you, Andy. Please welcome up to the podium Captain Patrick Reynolds to say a few words.
Good morning. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine sent me a video. The images were of an elderly man and his loyal companion, his dog. They were inseparable, even to the point when the elderly man was hospitalized, the dog stood vigil outside the hospital for several days. The image changes somewhat out of focus to the lobby where somebody is being brought out in a wheelchair. As the image comes into focus, a woman is in the wheelchair and the dog jumps directly into her lap. The physical connection is apparent. This video was a public service announcement for organ donation. Today, the FDNY is honoring firefighter William Moon with a memorial plaque. An additional way you can honor him today is when retelling stories about Billy, use the present tense. He is not only here spiritually, but also physically. His donated organs are working to keep quite a few people alive. Some are present here in the quarters of Rescue 2. His heart is beating, his lungs are breathing, his liver is performing his function. He is among us. God bless the Moon family and continue to keep our FDNY members safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. And now we'll hear from Lieutenant Terrence Jordan.
Good morning. My name is Terry Jordan, and I'm a retired FDNY lieutenant. I feel blessed to be part of this plaque dedication ceremony as we gather to honor the life and legacy of Billy Moon. I first came to know Billy in December 2022 when his wife Christina directed the donation of his lungs to me. It was in the days after that I learned more about Billy. I felt especially connected to him, hearing about his loyalty and devotion to his family, his community, the FDNY, and the town of Islip Fire Department. These qualities, along with his determination to advance and learn all he could in his goal to serve others, are ones that I hold in very high esteem. From there, I was able to meet his immediate family and felt drawn to the love that was at the center of their lives and how much Billy had meant to them. There was so much positive energies in spite of their loss, and in no time, I had forged a friendship with Christina. I will continue to assist her in her efforts in developing the Billy Moon Foundation, as well as helping to bring organ donation awareness to the forefront. These days, the word hero is used very loosely. The Athenian historian and General Thucydides, I thought I was going to mess that up, put it this way: the bravest are surely those who have the clearest vision of what is before them and yet go out to meet it. Billy Moon was not afraid to answer the call of duty, and even when his life ended, the decision he had made saved the lives of 5 people, 2 of whom were brother firefighters. I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say we will be forever grateful to Billy for giving us a second chance at life. Billy Moon was indeed a hero in life and in death. His death was a terrible tragedy that he managed to turn into a miracle for others. May God forever bless Billy Moon. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Terry. I told you I was going to be brief, and I'm going to try and keep it upbeat, but there's just a few things I wanted to say, and I'm just going to paraphrase it and cut it short. When terrible things happen in life, it's hard not to become cynical with the world. Tragic events like last year takes a toll on your soul. And looking for some meaning in things can put you in a very dark place. But if there's one thing I've learned in this life, that inevitably, like the sun rising in the morning, God sends His grace, and beautiful people and events come along into your life that restore you and give strength to climb out of that despair. And on cue, Christina, Brianne, Colin, Mr. and Mrs. Moon, the whole Moon family, there are no words to describe the resilience and courage that you guys have shown all of us in this past year. You've all been through so much. Christina, thank you for being a force of nature in advocating and creating such a beautiful foundation in Billy's name. We always say that we're always here for you, but I want to thank you for being here for us. You're an astounding person, and between Billy and you, I can't imagine what Colin and Brianne are going to do with their lives, right? So, thank you. In Viking lore, I always love this quote. They say a warrior dies 2 deaths. One is physical, and one is when people stop speaking their name. So that in a nutshell is why we're here today. To Colin, Brianne, this plaque is going to go up on the wall, and we're going to come into work every day, and I'm going to look at it, and it's going to remind me to be a better person, because Dad is awesome, right? All right, he's a role model, and I'm a schlep, and when I look at it, I'm going to try to be like Dad. He's setting the bar very high for us, okay? And that plaque, you can see how they're made. It's going to be up there forever, all right? It's going to be here long past when we're all gone, and hopefully you guys come back and you'll bring your kids and your grandchildren, and you'll come and you'll show the plaque to them, and you'll explain Dad's story. And on that note, Captain's going to give you two guys an order today, all right? I got an order for you. So you guys got to promise me, all right, for the rest of your lives, and you got to shout Dad's name out and tell his story to whoever will listen and even to who won't listen, because the world needs that story. The world needs to know about Dad, okay, because he's an amazing guy. He's awesome. He's even better than Jax and Mike White, all right? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Okay? And one more order. You have to take pictures today, okay? All right, I'm shortening it up here. But I couldn't help but talk about it this morning. I came here from basically hallowed ground. Came from NYU Langone Tisch Hospital, where last year basically 5 miracles were performed. In the most selfless act I've ever experienced in my life, Dad, Billy Moon, saved 5 lives. And we have Terry here today and Patty to attest to that. And that was on 12/20/22. So fast forward a year, 12/20/23, I'm back in the hospital, and my wife is giving birth to our baby, Grace Mary. Yeah. So, a circle of life moment. Without getting too much into details, little Gracie was having a little bit of a hard time. All right, it didn't go as smooth as we hoped, and she needs some help. So I was immediately reminded of my grandmother, Lyden. She was a great Irish woman. She never came to the United States. She basically lived and died within 10 miles of, spent her whole life there in the western part of Ireland. But what she used to always say is, when it comes down to it, all you have in life are your prayers. So that's what we had at that point. We started praying, and good Catholic boy that I am, I started going through my Rolodex of saints, St. Patrick, St. Anthony, going down, and then it became really obvious to me who I was going to put all my chips in with and who I was going to talk to and ask for a favor because of the year before. So I went to Dad, and I started talking to Dad, and I said, my little girl here needs some help. He performed 5 miracles here last year, so I prayed to St. Billy Moon. So, and now I can't thank him face to face because Gracie's doing great, and she's coming home this week. So I know Dad had his hand in that, but I can thank the 2 most precious people in his life. So, Brianna and Colin, thank you on behalf of Daddy for taking care of Gracie for me. So, I was thinking maybe to thank Dad. It might be out of my realm as rescue captain, but I checked the books on what it takes to become a saint and sainthood, and I made up a list here. I got the list right here. Step 1 is wait 5 years, but we're not going to do that. All right. Step 2 is become a servant of God. Check. Dad had that. Step 3 is show proof of heroic virtue. Come on. Check. That one's done. Step 4, verified miracles. I think most saints only have to have 2 or 3 miracles. Dad has 5, possibly 6. So check. We got that one. So I might get excommunicated for this. But that's why we brought the rabbi here, Hopefully he's not going to tell on me. Mum's the word, Rabbi. But I don't know if I could canonize it for the whole world, but maybe I'm going to canonize St. Billy Moon for 1815 Sterling Place. So by the powers invested in me by New York City Fire Department and Special Operations Command, Dominus Nobiscum, I'm going to anoint Billy Moon to sainthood for the premises of Rescue 2. And from here on in, 12/20, will be known as St. Billy Moon Day, as well as my daughter's birthday. All right? So how about that? All right, Christina, I don't think I went on too long. I'd like to bring up the wife of Billy Moon, Christina Moon. She's going to come up and say a few words. All right.
I'm starting to think Brienne had the right idea on being in sneakers. Before I even get started, I just want to thank the amount of people that are here. I think it speaks volumes to the type of person that Billy was, and I just can't tell my support system of friends and family that are here how much I love you. Thank you so much. Good morning. For months, my plan for this moment was to keep it light, because that's the type of guy Billy was, and we both believed in the importance of celebrating one's life. But when you're writing from the heart and it's heavy, light and cheery isn't always going to cut it. First and foremost, I'd like to take this opportunity to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone. One of my many vivid memories I will always have of this time is when I walked into the hospital and saw so many firefighters waiting and hoping for our family. I couldn't even look everyone in the eyes. I'm not sure how many of you are truly familiar with the Family Assistance Unit of the FDNY, but they are kind of like the glue that holds these situations together. They were there every moment to catch me if I fell, and they still are. Thank you. And to give you a better idea, shortly after the funeral, my kids turned around and looked at me one day and they went, "Where's Ming? We haven't seen him in a while." They were even excited to see him when we pulled up today. From Commissioner Kavanaugh to Chief Hodgins, the ceremonial unit, and many firefighters and others in between, we have been checked on, looked after, and supported. Islip, you being here and everything this past year is a true testament as to why Billy and I decided to live in Islip and raise the kids there. Thank you. 133, at this point, I feel it's safe to say you raised Billy. From the, as Jimmy Keene so eloquently put it, the 1980s gym coach look that never really went away, to the senior guy who took the time to teach others and become an amazing family man. You all had a piece in growing that part of him. Granted, he would bust your chops, but we'll get into that at another time. Rescue 2, you welcomed him with open arms. He came home and felt a part of this house after his first tour. And while you may not have known us that long, it didn't stop you from making sure we knew you were around to stay. I'm not quite sure you knew what you got yourself into yet. My kids running around today is a perfect example of how welcomed we feel. Brienne is giving guided tours around the firehouse afterwards, and Colin has already picked out his locker upstairs. It's inspiring to see the relationships and the friendships that can come from such a sadness. It's also surprising how different support can look. Sometimes it's showing up or a phone call, and other times it's not talking about it at all. The FDNY always says never forget. And this past year has taught me they truly will never forget Billy and the legacy he leaves behind. As we are closing out a year of bunting ceremonies, eulogies, memorials, dignified transfers, and more, I'd like to take this time to remember. Let's remember a man who was brazen and opinionated, but always on a mission. A dad who let his daughter put bows in his hair when she wanted to dress him up. A dad who coached sports and danced around the house, and so much more. A husband who drove me crazy in all of the best ways possible, and I won't lie, sometimes I think the key to a happy marriage is a 24-hour tour. A friend who showed up, maybe not on time, but he was always there. A friend who wasn't afraid to tell you the truth, even if it meant you now earned a nickname or two, and you know who you are. A friend who wasn't afraid a brother who knew exactly which buttons to push and when to push them, a son who would follow in his father's footsteps as a volunteer, a fireman who was committed to serving and helping others, an all-around driven man, a mentor, and a dedicated, proud, passionate man who always had a lot to say. The 2023 Grammy-winning Song of the Year was a song by country singer Bonnie Raitt. It's called Just Like That. She wrote it because she saw a news special about a family who met the recipient, their son's heart recipient. And just like that family, they were able to hear the heartbeat once again. We were a few weeks ago when Richard Grell, who gives his apologies for not being able to attend today. But we are also blessed to say that we can see air flow through Billy's lungs, through Terry. And well, Pat, what can I say? We are all impressed with that liver. It's funny how the words just like that can be so impactful. They can be a very powerful indication of a life-changing event. Abraham Lincoln once said, "In the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years." And while I realize in the infinite worlds of grief, because let me tell you, grief is not one size fits all. We may not want to believe Abraham Lincoln, but I can tell you Billy would. More than once, he mentioned how he had no regrets and was very happy with his life. He had the job of his dreams in 2 firehouses of his dreams, a family and friends, not to mention a long career volunteering in a community we both grew up in and chose to raise our children in. That quote really made me think about all of the life in Billy's years. The moments, the laughters, the arguments, the accomplishments, and yes, the sorrow. Many of you will remember Billy and his selfless act. I just realized I have extra papers. Many of you will remember Billy and his selfless act of organ donation that has become his legacy. And those of us that knew him longer always knew he would leave this world with a top 5 story for the kitchen table. I couldn't be more proud to call him my husband and my best friend. If you didn't know, I spent many years as a reading teacher. And what more fitting than to leave you with a quote from Dr. Seuss. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. And I personally think we should all smile a little wider because Billy happened. I know I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. We will now commence with the dedication of the plaque.
Just before we unveil the plaque, I just want to say to Liam, if you do get excommunicated, we will take you. Because we never had a Jewish guy named Liam. So thank you so much.
Not yet.
Please unveil the plaque. It reads, dedicated to the memory of Firefighter William P. Moon II, Rescue Company 2, who made the supreme sacrifice while in the performance of duty operating at Brooklyn Box 1644, December 20th, 2022.
Detail, uncover.
Today, the word legacy was used a few times. Interestingly, in Hebrew, The word for legacy is nachalah. It comes from the word nachal, that means river, because a legacy is ongoing. It doesn't end when a person's life comes to an end. So today, may the legacy of William P. Moon II continue to be within us and inspire us. Amen.
Detail, recover. Everyone please rise. Detail, hand salute. Ready, two.
I wanted to say that you just before you. Thanks. Please be seated. Okay, before we close, I'd just like to acknowledge a few more people in the room. We have Lisa Tuozzalo, wife of NYPD Sergeant Paul Tuozzalo from the 4-3 precinct, who was killed in the line of duty. Thank you for being here. We also have Irene Sullivan, wife of Lieutenant Brian Sullivan of Squad 41. So thank you for making it here today. All right, besides thousands of people, there's some few I just have to single out today. Engine 275 and Ladder 133, it's been nothing but a pleasure, the last year being with you guys. And, I really feel a strong bond to the firehouse. And special congratulations to Pat Connolly. He's going on his promo to battalion chief, something that I didn't have the balls to do. Nice job, brother. Hope you don't regret it. Also, the brothers down the block at Canarsie, 257 and 170, very tight with the captain, Mark Schweiger. Thanks for all your support, over the past year. It's much appreciated. A new friend that Tom Malley from DCAS, who helped set all of this up today. And a lot of unsung heroes here today. Johnny Atwell, who's always there with the tents, just another amazing guy. And, of course, we all know him and love him. He hates the limelight. But Joe LaPointe and the ceremony unit, again, man, thanks for making this effortless. And also, the Klein family is also in attendance, and I'd like to acknowledge them, too. Thanks for being here. All right, the last two just special to my heart here. Brothers in the band, stuffed all the way in the back there. Nice job, guys. And then, of course, Matt Doyle just took over as pipe major, so congrats to him. And then the men of Rescue 2. Thanks, guys, for the last year and for all you do and continue to do. I've said this before a million times. The easiest job in the world is to be the captain of Rescue 2. I get the best guys, and they always make me look like a superstar, And I definitely try to mess that up, and they still raise me up and make me look good. Thanks a million, guys. I'd like to give them a round of applause. Okay, I'll close it up before the rabbi withdraws his invite into the Jewish faith. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the New York City Mayor, Fire Commissioner, Chief Department, and other members of the dais, we want to thank you for attending today's very special ceremony. What a terrific show of love for our fallen brother, Firefighter William Moon. Rest assured, none of us will ever forget him. This concludes the plaque dedication. And before we go, I'd like to ask the Moon family and the brothers from Rescue 2 to step into the stairs. We have one more presentation, at the conclusion of this that we'd like you guys to unveil for us. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day. And lunch, this is one-stop shopping here. Lunch is going to be served here immediately. We're just going to move the chairs and put tables down, and lunch is waiting to go there in the room. So, again, thanks again for coming, and have a great day. And we're going to go over in here real quick.